Listeners, today I'm busy rubbing our next guest belly and scratching those ears. No, not Sam Oakey, Ragnar. We're thrilled to welcome March-April cover star Ragnar, and his owner Sam Oakey is with us too. He'll be speaking on Ragnar's behalf, obviously, as we learn about the incredible ways Ragnar is helping people of all ages deal with grief and loss. This heartwarming feature was written by Anthony Giorgetti and was photographed and on our cover thanks to Taylor Reshka of Tailored Images. You can, of course, read the issue in our latest issue now on newsstands or see more at theroanoker.com. Hi, Sam. Hi, Ragnar. Thanks so much for coming on our show today.
Hey, Liz. Thank you all for having us.
Absolutely. Now, our Therapy Pets feature delves into the sweet story of how therapy dogs are helping people with emotional support, education, and more. We first introduced you to Marshall, a rock star Great Dane taking part in the Pet Pals program that allows therapy dogs to visit hospitals and help patients find comfort. Ragnar, who you see on our cover, is a very good boy, working at Oakey's Funeral Services, helping people as they go through what's typically an already heartbreaking experience. Now, Sam, I'd love to know a little bit about Ragnar's story, how he got involved into becoming a therapy dog.
Yeah, well, we got him in July of 2016. Actually from a breeder out in the Phoenix, Arizona area. So we flew out there and brought him back when he was 8 weeks old. And I shortly moved after that to Nashville for about a year and a half for mortuary school, funeral service. And he grew up first year and a half of his life there. There was all kinds of, we lived right by Vanderbilt, so there was helicopters and ambulances and people of all walks of life and loud sounds and everything, which was great kind of to expose him to stuff like that, desensitize him to different stimuli. But once we got back to Roanoke, he had some further classes. We had a trainer in-home in Nashville, and then we came back here and had some more therapy-specific classes with your previous guest, Hope Cogen. Actually,
so funny. You listeners, you'll hear from her in our third segment, Hope Cogen of High Hopes Dog Training. That's so funny when she told me that she had trained our cover star.
Oh, yeah. Hope is great. Her and her staff did an excellent job. We did 2 or 3 classes with her. There were 6 or 8 weeks, I think, each. And so we got him certified as a therapy dog. After the completion of those classes, he had to undergo a pretty rigorous, I think it's like 13-phase training or testing like curriculum where they test him in different settings, whether it's around other people or loud people, dogs, around food, in crowds, things like that, just to basically demonstrate obedience and poise and responsiveness in any kind of setting he would face at work. So it was kind of a long road between like Nashville and Roanoke and different sorts of training and classes, but so it wasn't like just wasn't just one day we just decided to have him do this.
Overnight thing, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Was it his personality? You saw something in him that you thought would make him a great therapy dog, or you were experiencing maybe with clients and guests that they could use some love like that? What exactly kind of made you think this is a great idea?
Well, I mean, golden retrievers, I think, are very well suited for it. They're just like so loyal and want to please, and they're calm. But I'm not gonna lie. At first, I just wanted to bring my dog to work, so I was like trying to
Me too.
finagle.
How can I get in on that?
Yeah, I figured out a way to let my dad let me do that. But I did start bringing him to work, and I heard about therapy dogs in like colleague funeral homes in other states, and then even at Curly Inn and things like that. So I knew that existed. So I kind of brought him to work just to test the waters and see how he did when I would be in meetings with families making funeral arrangements or even just with our staff, and he was just great from the outset. I mean, just very much a people dog, and very well behaved, and he was a lot of times the first face that someone sees when they walk through the door, and it just instantly kind of breaks the ice and puts people at ease with a sense of familiarity, and someone that they can talk to that doesn't ever have any ulterior motives or agenda, just a very trusting presence. So it kind of went from there, but it was pretty easy, honestly, from the very outset.
And it's his personality is so apparent. He walked right in the door and walked straight to the 3 people who were like, oh my gosh, there's a dog in the building, and he's just sitting down. You're going to hear him a little panting a little bit in the background, but he's just being so well trained. My dog would be losing his mind right now. But so Ragnar is actually a little famous because people know him, and like you said, he's a great icebreaker because these people that you're helping are really going through a difficult time, more or less. And so I'm kind of curious, like, what does he do in that experience when someone comes to you and they're talking about this loss that they have? How is he reacting in this?
Yeah, I mean, I take him basically every family I meet to make arrangements. He's there in the meeting. He goes to people's visitations on request. He can go to funerals, private family gatherings, any sort of step of the experience with Oakeys. We've taken him to assisted living facilities, hospitals, schools, all that. But really, he does kind of tend to seek out the most in distress individuals, people that are grieving or nervous. And therapy dogs are great at kind of combating anxiety, depression, even like PTSD, all kinds of mental health troubles. Yeah. And so it could just be something as simple as going and standing next to someone or putting his head on their lap, or he's a big fan of doing putting his paw on their knee, and if they stop loving on him, he'll do it again. So I
think it's just actually about the attention for him, right?
Maybe, yeah. he loves the attention. It's great to have to offer him to the community, because I was joking with you earlier. My fiance and I, and my family could spend all of our time loving on him, and he'd still want more. So just to have these guests that need him kind of supplement that attention for him is great, and it's a win-win for him and them.
That's awesome. Do you, I was curious if you had any, I know it's a little bit spur of the moment, any favorite moments that you might have had with Ragnar at your office?
Yeah, I think a couple of them were actually mentioned in the piece that y'all did.
Well done.
But,
thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. That was a great story. But a couple more. It's always great. We've had this numerous times where people, it could be a child or an adult or anyone who is scared of dogs. Maybe they just didn't grow up with dogs or had a bad experience with one and don't, they're not comfortable around him. And by the time they leave Oakey's, they're like hugging him, kissing him, talking to him. And, that could forever change their life. Absolutely. They might get a dog and have that bond that we've had with them and have that friend. So that's always cool to see him kind of helping people overcome those hesitations with dogs.
Yeah.
And then just the bonds with our staff and the other people that come into the building, everyone from the UPS guys, the garbage collectors, our vendors. Everyone.
Ragnar likes the mailman?
Oh, yeah, imagine that. We have, like, the garbage men bring him treats. Our staff, will give him birthday presents. He has a little route in the morning he goes on when he, visits different people's offices. It's just great to see the bonds that he's connected.
Yeah, he really is a coworker. He's not like your dog who comes into the office. Like, everyone probably looks for him.
He's on the company composite on the wall with other 150 employees.
I love that because he's part of the crew, right? He's not just your dog. He's actually helping your members of the community.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I especially like that you pointed out, because I think sometimes you might think he's just there for the kids, right? The kids they need the distraction in whatever capacity that means to them. But it's also about the adults too, because the adults are experiencing something critical too. And I think that's great that he's there for them. And so we were talking about this just before we started the podcast. But so Anthony, the writer who covered this feature so beautifully, he shares the story about during the interview process. And for whatever reason, he was feeling a little, hesitant or whatever. And he said, and Ragnar put his head on my knee, and it was like totally blew my mind at how intuitive he was. And I think that's really interesting, how intuitive he is.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a moment for you where maybe you're going through something personally and he just kind of looks at you and just seems to know, not just because you're his owner, but...
Absolutely. Luckily I'm in pretty good health, but I've had COVID twice in the last 3 years. And when that's happened, I've been kind of like laid up on the couch for a couple of days. And you would think I was like dying. Yeah. He's just like, won't leave my side. He's like very solemn and attentive. And, he's just so sensitive. And same with my parents, my fiance, staff at work. If anybody is, when they've might have family troubles or they're not feeling good, and he is right there by their side. He will seek them out and just not leave them.
That's awesome. I don't know how you get anything done, honestly.
I know. Yeah, he's a Velcro shadow.
Yeah, but occasionally we have a hybrid schedule, so we'll work from home, and the days that my dog is home, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get anything done today. I do, just for the record, in case my editor-in-chief is listening to this. But anyway, so I was kind of curious, where do you guys love to go? You and Ragnar, not just you, but where do you guys love to go in the region? And that could be anything from restaurants or parks. Where are you guys hanging out?
We go anywhere that... they allow dogs or friendly to dogs. I actually have a couple of people to give a shout out to. Nice. They're particularly hospitable and loving toward him. Mass General Store. I don't know if y'all have been in there, but they
love
are
that place.
So dog friendly. They know him by name. He knows he walks in like he owns the place and goes right to the treats behind the counter. Nature's Emporium does his grooming, and he goes shopping in there, and we get dog presents and stuff. They're awesome. Walkabout Outfitter, very dog friendly, a lot of fun. actually right next door. Our Daily Bread is his favorite place to go. And
Nice. I
get
did
a
not know
patio
that. That's
lunch.
Good to know. Yeah. What a great idea.
Yeah, most of the breweries, the farmers market, local Go Fest or Drumstick Dash, all that.
Yeah. Now, I do know for a fact that your dad said that he was stopped by several people to talk about, oh my gosh, I've seen your dog on the cover. So obviously Ragnar is super famous now. But curious about, you guys spend probably a lot of time in the Greenway too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My dad takes him on there all the time.
Now, I think he's got some cousins and siblings in your household. Like, how do they feel about Ragnar being on the cover?
I try not to emphasize it too much, but he does get a little more attention than my dad's border collie mix, Stella. She's adorable and sweet.
She is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Ragnar, I think kind of tends to steal the show sometimes. So my dad probably has his feelings hurt. But
talking about it on Twitter, so you can follow Sam on Twitter and tell him about Ragnar on the cover. And so, what else? We're talking about downtime, but what do you personally love to do? And your fiance, when are we going to see you when you're outside of your work?
We go hiking a bunch.
Yeah.
That's when we take Ragnar and then our dog Moose, who's a Yorkie, my fiance's dog I inherited. Who actually loves to hike. So
we should have put both of them on the cover just to see the size difference.
Oh, it's like I joke about being like Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King. It's just
great.
Very funny discrepancy. But they are like brothers, best friends, and we go hiking all the time. He likes to go and catch frisbees down at River's Edge. My dad will take him. We call it the frisbee field.
Nice.
We like to go to Sweet Donkey on Friday nights in the warm weather for their little Friday night, music and food truck kind of thing, and hang out.
Does Ragnar see his buddies and gets to hang out with his friends? And
dog and human alike.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much again for letting us borrow Ragnar to be on the cover. We're so excited to have him. And just for the little YouTube segment, we're so thrilled to have him on here representing all the great pets in the Roanoke region. And thank you so much for being on our show. And thank you for being on our cover, Ragnar. We appreciate you.
Thank you all so much for having us. It was a wonderful experience and really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. And before we go, I just want to add, because we were talking about this. So when I lost my dog Fisher 3 years ago, you guys, your pet services, were absolutely critical in my healing process, because I just so appreciate everything that you all did for us. And so just wanted to make sure that if you've lost a pet, to reach out to Oakeys, because they do such a wonderful job. And I just can't thank you enough. It's been 3 years and, they never really leave our hearts. So it's been I was really grateful to have you all being so kind and so generous with your, just with your kindness. So thank you.
We
Absolutely.
appreciate the kind words.
Absolutely. Thank you. So again, thank you so much to Sam Oakey and Ragnar, of course, for being our special guests on From Print to Podcast. We so appreciate your time. I'm sorry I don't have any treats for our superstar.
He's on a diet. He doesn't need any. He needs less treats.
Well, I don't know. People listening to this, they're probably still going to put treats in their pockets and hope they run into them. So if you please do see them out in the Greenway, say hello. It sounds like Ragnar will be happy to say hello and get a little pat on the head. So we are incredibly grateful for your time. And thank you to Ragnar and all the other great therapy pets in our region working to help our community physically and emotionally. You can learn more about Ragnar and other therapy dogs, read about a local veterinarian's brand new state-of-the-art facility in Vinton, plus get tips from our pet experts and directory to learn the best in the region caring for our pets. In our latest features in the March-April Pets issue on newsstands now, or you can read more at theroanoker.com.